I'd like to call the statutory meeting of July 12th, 2004 to order. May I have roll call, please?
Mr. Kuderick?
Here.
Ms. White?
Present.
Mr. Minkevich?
Here.
Ms. Roscoe? Here. Mrs. Buckley?
Here.
Ms. Lanasi?
Present.
Ms. Frere's present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, Mr. Carr?
Yes, I will preside for the election of the 4 officers, and then we will move around to the appropriate seats and continue on with the meeting with the new officers presiding at that time. Are there any nominations for the office of president for the Romulus Board of Education?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Cheryl Buckley, please.
Support.
Are there any other nominations for the office of president of the board? Are there any other nominations for office of the president of the board? All in favor of Mrs. Buckley being president of the Board of Education for the 04-05 year, please state.
Aye.
Aye.
Mrs. Buckley, congratulations. Betty has served us long and well. She had a full year plus another
6
part of
months.
the year, 6
Yeah.
months because of Mr. McCrate's retirement. So
Yeah.
she had a long stint, and we really appreciate Ms. Lanasi's service and
Mhm. I
the job
enjoyed
that
it,
she
though.
did. Good, thank you. There are nominations for the office of Vice President of the Board of Education.
I'd like to make a nomination for Vice President for April Frere.
Support.
Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President of the Board of Education? Are there any other nominations? There being no other nominations, all state your intentions relative to Ms. Frere for Vice President.
Aye.
Congratulations, Ms. Frere.
Thank you.
Nominations for Secretary of the Board of Education for 04-05. Ms. Buck. Sure.
I would like to nominate Celeste Roscoe.
Support.
Any other nominations for Secretary of the Board of Education for 04-05? Any other nominations for Secretary of the Board? None, I'll state your intentions relative to Celeste for Secretary of the Board of Education.
Aye.
Congratulations, Ms. Roscoe.
Thank you.
Nominations for Treasurer of the Board of Education. Nominations for Treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Ken McCanich for Treasurer.
Support.
Board of Education.
Any other nominations for the office of Treasurer of the Board of Education? Any other nominations for the office of Treasurer of the Board of Education? Being none, please state your intentions relative to Mr. Minkevich being Treasurer of the Board of Education for 04-05.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay, you want
congratulations, everyone.
Yeah.
We'll have to get signature cards and appropriate documents together by the buyer before the next meeting. And everybody can kind of shift seats now. Mrs. Lanasi, you get to move down the line, too.
There, yeah, Michael was there, that's right. I don't think anybody wants mine, so I'll
No,
stay
they
here.
sure
Oh,
don't.
yeah, nobody wants.
I'm so happy to get away from that seat.
Yeah, you really liked it down there, didn't you, Naima?
Oh, give me my nameplate, I forgot it.
Oh, here, we'll get it. Dick will get it. Dick, why don't you take it?
Dick. Thank you.
Move them all around for us, please.
No.
All the way down to Mr. Kuderick. And Dick, here's another one here.
April needs
April.
hers.
Cheryl needs hers.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, let me put my sweater back up. Wait a minute, I want my arms to be short.
Oh, we'll do it after we finish this part. and then
It's on me?
You're it.
Okay,
You're in
my
charge.
first order of business, our designation of depositories.
Okay, Madam
Need a
President.
motion.
I'd like to make the motion that we name Comerica National City and Bank One to continue as depositories, and that the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and superintendent of schools continue to have the authority to sign authorizing documents requiring 2 of the 5 actual signatures or I'm having problems.
Facsimile.
Signatures.
Facsimile.
Facts. I'm having problems with it. Okay.
Support.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next order of business is our schedule of meetings.
There's one possible change that will occur, but I don't want to insert it at this time, and that will be in the month of May. The election laws change relative to the time of the school election next year up to the month of May or to another time, and we'll be making that choice after September 1st. The board gets to make that decision. And if we were to choose to have this election during May, it would cause us to have to change that schedule, but we could do that at a later time when we decide when the election will be. And also, there might be an issue, depending on how the calendar works, with the December 20th meeting. That may well be during a Christmas vacation period, but we can also amend the calendar at that point in time.
I would like to make a motion to accept the calendar as presented, the schedule of meetings.
Support.
Are there any other questions on the schedule of meetings? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Our next, naming of our auditor.
Madam President, I'd like to move that the Board of Education employ the firm of Post, Smythe, Lutz, and Zeal to act as auditors for the Board of Education for 2004-2005 school year.
Support.
Okay, any questions?
Just, is that the same auditors that we had before? Okay, that's the only thing I want to know.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Attorneys, need a motion, please?
Madam President, I'll make a motion to move the Board of Education employ the firm of Keller, Toma PC to act as attorneys for the Board of Education for 2004-2005 school year.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving right along. Adoption of our policies. Need a motion, please?
Madam President, I'd like to make the motion that the Board of Education adopt the existing policies of the Ramos Community Schools.
Support.
Okay, any questions on policies? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Should we go right into our meeting?
No.
We need to adjourn. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Ma- Support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned. I would like to call our regular meeting of July 12th to order. May I have roll call, please?
Mr. Kudurk,
Here.
Ms. Nasi,
Present.
Ms. White,
Present.
Mr. McCabbage,
Present.
Ms. Frayer,
Present.
Ms. Buckley,
Here.
and I'm here.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
There are no changes to the agenda, and we will need a short executive session tonight.
Madam President, I'll make a move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Any questions on the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of our previous meeting minutes. Need a motion, please?
I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Mr. Carr.
Personnel actions, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Carr.
President Buckley, members of the board, I have one personnel action for you tonight. It's a termination. The employee is listed on the second page. As noted.
Requires no action.
No action. Thank you.
That's it. Mr. Ruthier, bills for payment.
Superintendent Carr, President Buckley, members of the Board of Education, we have for your review and approval this evening 3 registers totaling $126,413.36.
I would like to make a motion that we accept the bills for payment.
Support.
Any questions on the bills? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed?
Thank you. Members of the board, we have a number of motions relative to the memberships of the various organizations we belong to. And we need to do each one of those 5 as individual motions for the record. First one is Michigan Association of School Boards.
I would like to make the recommendation that we accept, or I'd like to make a motion, I'm sorry, that we accept the recommendation that the superintendent join the Michigan Association of School Boards for the 2004-2005 school year.
Support.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next one's the Michigan High School Athletic Association on our agenda. It's a little bit out of order on the motion, but let's do that in terms of the agenda. Michigan High School Athletic Association next.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the superintendent and join the High School Athletic Association for 2004-2005 school year.
Support.
Are there any questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next is for the Metropolitan Detroit Bureau of School Studies.
I'd like to make a motion that we join the Metropolitan Detroit Bureau of School Studies.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The next is the Middle Cities Education Association for 0405.
I would
This
like,
is a group for lobbying and for working with other schools that are very similar to our own. There's about 32 schools in this group.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation for the superintendent to join the Middle Cities Education Association for the 2004-2005 school year.
Support.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And the final one is to join the National School Board Association.
I'd like to make a motion to join the National School Boards Association, 2004-2005.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The next item is for committee appointments, and the chairperson makes the appointments to the various committees. And
Okay, what I would like you to do, if you could write down the committee you'd like to serve on and give it to me, and then our next meeting, I will let you know what committees that you'll be serving on. Is that agreeable with everybody?
Do you want us to each pick 2?
Yeah, everybody choose two.
each person chooses two.
Yeah.
Each person choose two.
You understand why?
Is that it with, meet with everyone?
That
Okay.
works well.
Okay. Thank you.
Next meeting?
Would you like them turned into Carol ahead of time or called into Carol? Would that be helpful?
Yes, if you could give them to Carol, or, because I would like to get them before the next meeting, so if you can get them to Carol, or you give them to me now.
Or you
Yeah.
can say,
Yeah,
most cases,
You
we
got
probably
them
give them to you
now?
tonight.
Okay, give them to me now. That's
Whatever
great.
you want to do.
Okay, that'd be great. Thanks. Okay, now we come to the point where we have communications and expressions from the public, but we don't have any, so we have items of interest from the superintendent.
Yes, there are some documents in your packet. They are self-explanatory and very well done, I might add. Time for you to, an opportunity, I'd like to sit back and at your leisure read about schools. Really nice stuff in here, and the material is very well done. No other comments in that order.
I like that.
Okay.
Questions or
Now we're questions and concern of board members. Anyone have anything to say?
Yep.
Yes, Ms. Lassie.
Madam President,
Yes.
I did a lot of reading this weekend. I went through all my year-end reports. Thank you. And I'd like to make some comments. I'm real happy that our schools have completed their second year of the 5-year of the NCA, the National Central Association. I think that that's nice, and I hope we continue on this keel. I really think we need to get more parents involved in everything because of the write-ups and everything. WIC is down, and I was really happy about that. High school didn't have a lot of write-ups either. They were down a little bit, and I think that's great. But on the whole, I think we're doing real well. I really did like the swimming pool ad. I think that's really neat. I like that. And if anybody hasn't seen our pool, I think you ought to really take the time to go over there. It's fabulous, state of the art. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
You're welcome. Anyone else? I just had a comment. I serve on the Healthy Living Committee, and I think coming up this year, there's been a change where half of our committee has to be parents. So more than half of our committee has to be parents. So if there's anyone out there that would like to serve on our Healthy Living Committee, let us know. You can call Carol at the board office, talk to Ms. Roscoe or myself. We're both on that committee. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Executive session, may I have a motion to adjourn into executive session?
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn into executive session.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kudarek,
Present, here.
Ms. Lassie,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. McCabbage.
Yes.
Ms. Frayer,
Yes.
Ms. Buckley,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe says yes. All set.
It really is a hard job. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
I gotta do roll
Oh,
call.
roll call, that's right.
Gotta be roll.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Kudarek,
Yes.
Ms. Lassie,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. McCabbage.
Yes.
Ms. Frayer.
Yes.
Ms. Buckley,
Yes.
and I vote yes. We're all set.
Okay, before we adjourn, I would like to welcome Mr. Kudarek to our board.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Mr. Kudarek.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm sorry I didn't do that earlier.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
also to our new officers.
Part of the team.
Thank you, Betty. Can I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.